does the role of a person in growth differ from that of a product manager? And in what is the area of collaboration between these two people? And another one is, what is the area of collaboration, or where do you effectively collaborate with digital marketers? Like this is the second question, right? So first, let's talk about the exchange and the collaboration between growth and product management.
Got it. So to answer this, let me just start from the very initial days of a product development or the initial days of a startup. So a startup, so how does a startup start? So there are two or three founders who come up with an idea, and then they do market research and look if there is a need for the product, and then they start. So initial days, all the startup would be doing is building product, right? Either the founder would take care of it, and so once they have the idea, they would design it. So in the initial days, a founder would be a product guy as well. So he would come up with wireframes and all that. Now, if everything is finalized, we need front-end developers, back-end developers. We need that engineering team to be set up. Right. Once we have all that, there needs to be a person to manage all this. So that is where the product manager comes, right? These are at the very initial days. So next, what happens? We start acquiring users to our product. Maybe we start with very small set of users. So once users are inside the product, then we need to add different teams as well. So we need to add customer support. We need to add like a lot of other teams, DevOps team, engineering, to make sure everything is stable. And again, what happens is the users would start coming up requesting new features or whatever. All this need to be prioritized. So PMs would prioritize all this. Now we have a user, a product is doing quite decent. Now, to raise the next round of funding or to go further, we need to scale our product. Say we have 1,000 users, and say we have an X amount of revenue. Say we need to increase that. How do we do that? That is where growth guys come. So uh, again, let me just talk about the growth roles. A growth, if I talk about growth role, it can either be a growth product manager, a product manager who dedicatedly works for growth related projects. Say if the uninstalls are increasing, so how would I solve it? What changes in the product that would reduce the uninstalls? Or if the activation rate is less, so say if the onboarding sucks, or if onboarding, how do I improve this onboarding? So these are areas where a growth product manager would work. And where do these growth guys come? So if you look at growth marketers, it's still not very well defined, right? So now you want to scale the product. How you can do it multiple ways. You can hire a growth marketer, or so growth marketer could be, say, a performance marketer, say an SEO expert, or a digital marketer. Even digital marketers are called growth marketers, or someone who handles emails, push notifications, and all the other channels, who strategizes all. So they hire a growth marketer. A growth marketer would help in setting up all the systems at the very early days of the product, so that there would be an inflow of users coming in inside the product, and they start using it. So that's where they come in. Uh, Digital marketing is just part of it. So a digital marketer can work in the paid ads part of the product. So it's basically they are acquisition teams. So if you look at it, they are helping in acquiring users through multiple channels. Then onboarding everything is product. So if you think on a very high level, so there is look, this is the product. There are things that are happening outside the product. There are things happening inside the product. So whatever happens inside the product is handled by a product manager. Outside the product is handled by a digital marketing team, performance, or growth teams. So where this growth PMs or product marketers come into places, there is this place, right, where uh, between this acquisition, between onboarding and activation, this is where the product marketers or growth teams come into place. So if somebody who's looking to crack into a growth role or a product role, they have to be very clear on which life cycle of a product they want to start with. Say if you're good at performance marketing, you can start with the acquisition. Say if you're good at designing products, say if you're good at solving for onboarding, or
Mm.
solving for activation, solving for retention engagement, then you have to be a growth. You have to look at a growth PM kind of. So that's one. I'm more or less like a product marketer. So what happens is, so basically marketing is nothing but distribution and demand generation. So initially, to acquire users, what we do is we create distribution, we create content, distribute it, create demand and intent for the product. So the users come inside the product. So inside the product, we again have to do it. So
Mm.
the user landed, the user might be confused what to do in the product. So again, we have to market the product again, either via we have different channels like push notifications, email SMS, and there are a few changes in the product. Uh, say say I'll take the Swiggy example, right? Say if I'm from a tier 2 city, I would see a different home screen,
Mm.
right? Or I would see a different product and pricings. Say I'm a regular user of Swiggy, then I would see a different product, right? So these are product marketing. So it's very personalized and it's very customized. So
Mm.
this is the product marketing part of it.
Mm.
So to very quickly answer it, growth or product again depends on to which part of the startup or which life cycle of the product experience you come in.
Mm.